Hey, welcome back. And we're going to cover spray booths today. A lot of people don't have them, they're expensive, or they take up too much space. I came up with a way to make a really basic spray booth for almost nothing and probably with everything that you have currently on hand. What we're going to need for this build is a box fan. We are going to need a furnace filter that is a 20 by 20. We're going to need 4 pieces of foam core board that you can get at the dollar store and some 3D printed parts. What we have here is the plastic model that I have printed out, and you'll just notice that there's 2 slots. These slots are just slightly smaller, so this is 4.5 millimeters versus 5 millimeters, and the piece can just slide into that fairly tight. At the same time, in case it's loose, there are 2 little holes here. Those 2 little holes you can throw a tack or a piece of extra filament through and lock these into place. But basically it is slide-on fitting. So here's the deal, is that you cut a bunch of foam core board. My box fan is 20.5 inches wide, so I cut foam core board to 20 and a little more, 20 3/4 long. I take the bottom piece, I make it slightly smaller so that the fan can inset into the box, and you throw the furnace fan inside of that box in the fan and you turn it on. You've got yourself a spray booth. Now, there's a little gusset here. The gusset is so that one is when you put them all in, that the box structure doesn't do one of these lean things back and forth. And it also gives you a kind of a mounting point. In the 3D model, actually here, let me show you. I've updated this and I've made a hole here and a bunch of little tiny holes there. This will give you places to hook on wires and all sorts of different things. You could dangle a wire from here to there and be able to hang a bunch of things in your spray booth. I end up cutting some pieces that are just slightly larger than the box fan, including this edge here. And all 4 pieces are exactly the same. I have taken the feet off my box fan down here. I found that it just seems to get in the way and it makes it tall, and well, they're square. They sit fine on a table, so that's what I do. If you've got a handle or a knob up in the top, maybe you have to cut a little slot in here in foam core board. Well, it's foam core board. Grab a knife, make it happen really quick. Now, all we do is 3D print a bunch of these. Now, I've probably made a massive overkill on this and put in way too many, but I like it. And if you wonder why these are so long and not short, it really comes down to a quality thing. There's a lot more grab in that length. So spend a little extra time, make it a little longer, and you're going to find the structure is a little stronger. So just work with it that way. After we get rid of the fan, let's hide the fan so you can't see it. And I honestly, I'm speechless. This is, it really is this simple. Grab one of these 20 by 20 filters. You can buy them at hardware stores. You can buy them online. They're inexpensive. You can get super thick ones, HEPA filters, all that, whatever. And yeah, the tolerances between the walls and this filter are pretty loose, but I've yet to have anything really leak as far as overspray goes. So filter's gone. Then we just have these chunks of foam core board we cut. So we got like 4 pieces or 3 pieces the same size, one bottom piece that's slightly smaller, and a bunch of these little guys here. Put them together, and yeah, that's it. Modify this, create some different shapes. Maybe you have a fan that's smaller and you can taper the top down and fit into another smaller fan and have a filter on the other side. One thing I know that some people are guaranteed to ask me is, why don't I just tape these pieces together? And absolutely you can do that. If you want to tape them together, that's great. But it makes it so that these foam core board pieces are not necessarily all that reusable. Trying to untape it and trying to fold it and all that can be kind of ugly. And you also have to go through the time of taping everything up and doing it over and over again. So I'm looking at something that will save time. Foam core board will last a lot longer than you think. And once you've cut it, then it's just really a press fit these pieces together, and you know, Bob's your uncle. Again, you can't make this much more simple. Now, one thing that you can do is if you need to hang pieces down, foam core board is fairly strong. Run a wire through, get a coat hanger, punch it through the top with a little angle, and give yourself a couple of hangers to hang pieces down on. Now, this isn't going to get rid of the chemicals. It's not going to get rid of the chemical smell, and you definitely have to avoid those. So if you're going to do a lot of spraying inside or in a garage that's not well ventilated, then you're going to want to do this outside. But this will get rid of all that overspray that can land on your other props and your other builds or breathe in. It's horrible stuff to be breathing in. So it's really quick and easy to do this. Takedown's just as easy, and all of it is basically, how do you light this? Again, dollar store LED lights. I'm gonna give some links to some versions on Amazon that are much like this, but you've got these little pedestal lights that you can just put down and shine at your object. You've got a couple of top flat lights that you just place down and cut some holes in the foam core board, and it's all lit. It's ready to go. Super handy, quick, easy trick. That simple. Make it happen. Get yourself a spray booth, save your lungs, and you know, build some more stuff.